Daily Broadside, day 808. I was talking to a girl last night, and I asked her, I said, let me ask you a question, because I had been hearing something that made me think of this. And I said, let me ask you a question. I said, let's play a little role play. She's a real good friend of mine. We know each other very well. And I said, let's pretend that you and I are married or in some kind of union whereby we live together and share everything, and a house, a domicile, whatever we want to call it. And I happen to be a medical doctor, and I am named as the physician to the White House, physician to the president, whatever that title is called. And you are whatever you want to be for the purposes of this scenario. And I come home on my first day of work, and I've, given the president his first me physical, right? I've done my job and all that. I said, what is the first question you're going to ask me about my day? And she says, without hesitation, she's like, how big is his junk? I said, I knew it. I knew that's what you were going to say. And I said, and it doesn't matter what president I'm with, right? She's like, no, it wouldn't matter. I would want to know, regardless of who, whether it was Bush, Trump, Biden, Obama, whatever. That would be my first question. And I was like, man. And I suspect that when I told this story, some of y'all were wondering the same thing at the same time. Which begs the question, how fascinated are we with presidential wieners? Maybe that's why we need a female president, so we can get away from this attachment that we seem to have with wanting to know about presidential wieners, I mean, somebody did JFK's autopsy. That's all I'm saying. I was going down a country road the other day. And, I mean, like in the middle of nowhere. But I mean, it's a fairly busy 2-lane road. But I mean, there's no, there's no stores really anywhere within 5 miles, that kind of thing. I'm just kind of out riding around. And I see there's a row of houses that are right on the road, just your normal 1,800, 2,000 square foot houses, 3-bed, 2-bath, master on main, double garage, that kind of thing. And one of them has got a sign out front that looks like they went to Dollar General and bought some poster board and a Marks-a-Lot. And they wrote free, it said energy drinks for sale. And they just stuck it on like a paint stir and stuck it in the ground. And I'm riding down the road and I read the sign. It was clearly marked. You could see it at 45 miles an hour. I'm like, free energy drinks. And again, this is not a neighborhood per se, but there's houses everywhere. So, I mean, it's not a neighborhood proper, but it's a neighborhood enough. And I'm like, first of all, where did they come by all these things? Because there can't be that much of a, price, profit built into those things where, you could just go buy them at Costco. I mean, I guess you could buy them at Costco and then sell them, but I just found it strange that somebody was just selling random energy drinks. I mean, am I going to knock on the door and be like, hey, here for some rock stars, and they're like, one moment. Or are they going to invite me into their house? And I'm going to walk through their pantry? Have they turned their formal dining room into some kind of emporium for beverages? I don't know what's going on here. But part of me wanted to turn the damn thing around and go back and find out. And just be like, what would you like? And I'm like, nothing. I just want to see what we had going on here, because it's not every day. That would be like me having a sign outside my house that says beef jerky for sale, Maybe that's a bad example because you can make your own jerky. Maybe somebody was proud of it and they were selling their own. But that would be like honey or something. People cultivating honey and they're jarring it themselves and all. But let's say Rice Krispie treat. Rice Krispie treats for sale. And people will come up to my door, knock on the door, and be like, hello. And I'd like some Rice Krispie treats. And I'm like, you came to the right place, hoss. And then I would sell them whatever Rice Krispie treat. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. It's just a strange thing. It occurred to me last night while I was watching the game that I have never, to my knowledge, in my life, I have never bought Kleenex. And I say Kleenex, tissue paper for your nose, to blow your nose. I've never done that, ever. Okay? And I was like, the only time I can ever think of even possessing those things was when I was in kindergarten, first grade, and they would make you bring in, everybody brought in 2 boxes of Kleenex at the beginning of the year so that we could make it through the semester with all these snotty kids running around. But I've never purchased those things. Now you may be asking yourself, do you not blow your nose? Well, that's what snot rockets early morning in the shower are for, and that's what toilet paper's for. So I guess I guess I just wasn't raised to have tissue in the house. Yeah, I don't know if I've been, my childhood was stolen from me or what, but I'll tell you another thing too. I went down a deep dive in the last couple of days about Sherpas, the Nepalese people that take people up to Everest and all. Those dudes, we got to do a documentary about that. They're otherworldly. Somehow they've got some kind of mitochondrial, alteration, genetic weird thing going on that allows them to survive. I saw a video the other day of a Sherpa burning a dart at the top of Everest. 87-mile-an-hour winds. He's up there just, come on up, and I'm like, what the hell? Everybody else is on oxygen, they look like that, this is probably going to be a horrible reference because I'm probably wrong. They look like that medical droid that was like repairing Luke's arm in Empire Strikes Back. Didn't he have like some kind of, he looked like Dr. Satan. How about that? In House of 1,000 Corpses. He had a mask. Everybody's got a mask on, and he's up there, burning a Pall Mall. I think Pall Malls are British, but I don't think Sherpas smoke British cigarettes if I was guessing. And I'd like to congratulate Billy Corgan, the lead singer and architect of Smashing Pumpkins. He's had forever, and I didn't know this until my buddy Teeter told me, who met him one time. He's got like birthmark, like one of those like just wine stained birthmarks up to about here, all the way down his hand. And he's got some splotches up his arm. And for that reason, he always wears long sleeves. So my buddy met him. He's like, he's got those things like you can tell when you meet him. And I'm like, what are you talking about? All this time. And I've been listening to them since Gish, and so I go pull up the Google images. I'm like, son of a bitch. This dude's always in a long sleeve shirt and he's always wearing turtlenecks and everything. And I'm like, he's hidden this stuff from us forever. And I'm like, and there's a couple pictures where you can see his fingers are pink. But like in certain lighting, you would never know. Now in person, you would. But here's the thing. I've recently seen a bunch of videos whereby he's like doing this like body positivity thing and coming to the surface and wearing short sleeves and being like, look at me and all my splendor. Yeah, I got wine stains, and it doesn't stop me from being a good person. And it doesn't ostracize me, from the rest of the human populace. And if you've got these wine stains, I support you. And you should stand up and wear them proud. I follow a contractor who's got one like across his whole neck and all. I mean, it's all good. But I'm proud of Billy Corgan for letting that stuff go. Man, if you've got birthmarks, or hell, if you've got actual wine stains on you, like real wine, like you spill wine and you don't clean it off, be proud of that, man. That's what I'm saying. So congratulations, Billy Corgan, for producing a lifelong amount of great music and for now getting rid of the stigma of having wine stain birthmarks. Y'all have a great one. Hey, Giddy.